In today's episode, we have some amazing games at an all-time low price to check out together, and every game on the list is currently on sale for less than $20. Hey everyone, I'm JP. Here at the channel, we try to show off some of the best deals every week, and we focus on games that are currently at an all-time low price, or at the very least, matching a previous low from before. That way, when you pick one up, you know you're getting the best deal possible. If this happens to be your first time here, thanks for checking us out and welcome to our little home here on the internet. If you have a good time, consider hitting that red button down below to subscribe and feel free to come back anytime to hang out. And to the crew here at the channel, thanks as always for rocking with us for a few minutes again today. Much love to you all. Now let's jump into the list. As always, stay safe out there and please enjoy the video. Alright, let's go ahead and start off with Hades. This is a single-player action RPG from Supergiant Games, and it offers more than 40 hours of gameplay. It has a download size around 5.8 gigabytes, and it's always a fan favorite whenever it goes on sale. In this one, we assume the role of an immortal prince of the underworld, wielding powerful weapons and abilities as we battle our way through hell to fight the god of death himself. The game is gorgeous and has nearly perfect controls, but it's definitely challenging. Now there are some permanent upgrades you can find, so you won't have to worry about losing all of your progress each run, and each run offers something new, so there's tons of replayability. If you're interested in Hades, be sure to check it out before the sale ends on February 17th. It's marked down 35%, matching a previous low of just $16.24. Next up, we have Wallachia, Reign of Dracula. This is a single-player adventure platform game from No Gravity Games with a download size around 180 megabytes and a main story that will take roughly 5 hours or so to wrap up. Now this one is basically a mix of action platformer and shooter, and it gives players waves of enemies to blast through and some unforgiving boss battles that were a lot of fun. There are a total of 7 amazing levels, all with a beautiful retro aesthetic and feel. Plus, the voice acting was top-notch. Now in true old-school fashion, the game is brutally hard, so be prepared for that. If you're interested in Wallachia, Reign of Dracula, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on February 19th. It's marked down 53%, matching a previous low of just $6.99. God Eater 3 is a 3D action-adventure title from Bandai Namco, and it offers more than 40 hours of main story gameplay on average, with a download size around 14.9 gigabytes. It also has multiplayer action for up to 4 people offline and up to 8 people online. Now in this one, we assume the role of a young God Eater trying to survive in a harsh world. You'll be able to customize your character, you can alternate between fighting stances, alternate between weapon types, and much more as you rise above this world of desolation to discover your true destiny. The combat is fast and fun, you can play it solo, on the go, or with friends, and if you're interested in God Eater 3, it's on sale right now until February 15th, marked down 84%, matching a previous low of just $9.59. Blue Fire is a single-player platform RPG coming to us from Graffiti Games with a main story that will last roughly 10 to 15 hours or so, and it has a download size just over 5 gigabytes. Now in this one, we embark on a journey through various temples and locations filled with increasingly harder platforming challenges, all while questing and finding collectibles along the way. Now the game is all about fast-paced movement and quick reflexes. The art style is phenomenal, and it's a great soundtrack as well. If you're interested in Blue Fire, be sure to check it out before the sale ends on February 15th. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $9.99. Next, we have another fan favorite, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. This is a single-player RPG from Bandai Namco, and it offers a main story that could last more than 60 hours. Now this game has some of the most endearing writing, music, and visuals that you'll likely experience here on the Switch, with the download size around 6 gigabytes. In this one, we play as a young boy named Oliver as he embarks on an adventure through a world he doesn't quite understand that's inhabited by both friend and foe, the only goal being to save his mom. Along the way, you can also find and tame familiars, which you can use to take on enemies and overcome the tougher challenges. If you're interested in Ni no Kuni, it's on sale right now until February 15th, marked down 80%, matching a previous low of just $9.99. Next up, we have ScourgeBringer. This is a single-player 2D action platformer from Plug-in Digital, and it offers roughly 9 to 10 hours of main story gameplay, with the download size just under 400 megabytes. This is definitely one of the more challenging games on the list, but fans of true video game punishment will absolutely love it. As far as the roguelike genre goes, this game is a must-play at least once. The controls were amazing, the game looks gorgeous on the Switch, and I bet even better on an OLED. Plus, the dungeons are procedurally generated, and the boss battles are fantastic. So again, if you enjoy a good challenge, make sure to check out ScourgeBringer before the sale ends on February 12th. It's marked down 35%, matching a previous low of just $11.04. Tales of Vesperia, the Definitive Edition, is an action RPG offering again more than 60 hours of gameplay, plus it also has multiplayer action for up to 4 players as well. The download size is around 13 gigabytes, and this is a remaster of a fan favorite classic with updated graphics, mechanics, and additional playable characters. They've even added some mini games, new bosses, and so much more with all the DLC they included as well. Now in the game, everyone in the world has become so dependent on technology that the world is on the brink of destruction. Players find themselves amidst a power struggle between the citizens and the ones in charge. This is another great value, and if you're interested in Tales of Vesperia, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on February 15th. It's marked down 75%, matching a previous low of just $12.49. Next up, we have Okinawa Rush. This is an action platformer, again from No Gravity Games, available for 2 players in local co-op, and it has a download size around 720 megabytes. The main story is rather short, only clocking in at maybe 2 or 3 hours, but with local co-op, you can always find a bit more time from these style games if you have a friend or a sibling to play with. This is another game that's sort of a mix between platformer and beat 'em up, shown from a side view with amazing retro graphics. There are different playable characters, each with their own moves and combos, and you have access to a few different weapon types as well. Overall, the combat system was a lot of fun, plus the boss battles again were amazing. Right now you can pick up Okinawa Rush, on sale until February 22nd. It's marked down 35%, matching a previous low of just $12.99. Pumpkin Jack is a single-player 3D action platformer that will take roughly 6 to 7 hours to finish up, and it has a download size just under 3 gigabytes. In this one, we play as the Pumpkin Lord himself, and we've been contracted by the devil to do his bidding. Now the game is fairly linear, but there are a few different types of levels to keep it fresh along the way. The game immediately reminded me of Medieval from the original PlayStation, which was another Halloween spooky-based platformer. One really cool mechanic here were the areas where you would just use Jack's head to complete a puzzle while you leave his body behind. The world design, the combat, the platforming were all great once again, and if you like these type of adventure games, be sure to grab it up before the sale ends on February 22nd. It's marked down 55%, matching a previous low of just $13.49. Next up, we have Cyber Shadow. This is a fast-paced single-player action platformer from Yacht Club Games, and it offers roughly 9 to 10 hours of intense gameplay, with the download size around 315 megabytes. In this one, we play as Shadow, a sole survivor of our clan, as we set out on a final mission to uncover who was behind the attack on our city. The game feels and plays a lot like the old-school 2D Ninja Gaiden games, but with better controls and smoother animations. As you fight through the ruins of this lost city, you'll find members of your clan that you can rescue, and upon doing so, you'll actually inherit their skills to use as you go forward. There are even some animated cutscenes. This game is fantastic and highly recommended, plus I rarely see it go on sale. If you're interested in Cyber Shadow, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on February 16th. It's marked down 30% to a new all-time low of just $13.99. Ghost and Apples. This is an addictive and deceptively challenging puzzle game from rough cyber humans with a download size around 220 megabytes, and it has 2-player local co-op as well. That's a blast, making this a great value and one of my favorite games on the list. There are more than 150 handcrafted levels, 2 distinctly different playable characters, different game modes, and some amazing art and animations. Plus the soundtrack is top-notch as well. What's cool is that while you play, you unlock new paintings inside of this house, and they act as the different levels. Plus, you can even find secret rooms or special rooms with really cool NPCs that you can either talk to or maybe buy things from. Now, I know it may look simple, but trust me, the game is way tougher than it appears at first glance. It's easy enough for younger gamers to jump in, and challenging enough for veteran gamers to have a good time. If you're interested, it's on sale until February 12th, marked down 30%, matching a previous low of just $6.99. Next up, we have Tanuki Justice. This is an action platformer from No Gravity Games and is available for 1 to 2 players in local co-op, with a main story that will last around 2 hours or so, but it has plenty of replayability and a download size around 50 megabytes. In this one, we set out on a mission to take out an evil warlord, and that's really the only story they give us at the beginning. Now, this is a great platformer that's set in Japan with absolutely amazing pixel art graphics and a great soundtrack. The boss battles were a particular highlight for us again, and the way that each character model and animation works is beautiful to look at here on the Switch. This is one of those pick up and go games for like 15 to 30 minutes at a time and just have some pure fun. Each level is varied both in detail, scenery, and enemy type, and while some are rehashed, each level introduces something new. The controls were great as well, and if you're interested in Tanuki Justice, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on February 19th. It's marked down 53%, matching a previous low of just $6.99. Neon City Riders is a single-player action-adventure game with a download size around 730 megabytes and a main story that will last roughly 5 to 6 hours to complete. Now this is a pretty unique beat-em-up RPG that relies heavily on exploration and solving puzzles. One unique feature is the autosave, which happens whenever you enter into a new room, so there's plenty of option for trial and error. This is another game that features an amazing soundtrack, and for some players it's reason enough to justify buying it by itself. In this one, we face waves of enemies and have to utilize special abilities to save Neon City. The retro look and feel was another plus for me, and if you're interested in Neon City Riders, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on February 8th. It's marked down 60%, matching a previous low of just $7.99. Banner of the Maid is a single-player strategy RPG with a download size around 2.6 gigabytes and a hefty main campaign offering more than 40 hours of gameplay. The game is set during the French Revolution near the end of the 18th century and has some absolutely gorgeous graphics here on the Switch. The battle animations and attention to detail is top-notch, plus there are over 30 maps with several different settings such as cityscapes or mountainsides, and each one has special events that can take place as the story progresses. Plus, in addition to fighting the enemies, you'll also be up against the elements as well. Storms, snow, fog, all these kinds of things can affect the outcome of the battle. If you enjoy a good SRPG, be sure to check out the Banner of the Maid series. Right now you can pick this one up on sale until February 10th, marked down 50% to a new all-time low of just $8.49. Next up we have Aspire Ina's Tale. This is a single-player puzzle platformer from Untold Tales with a download size around 1.9 gigabytes, and the main story, while short, is very impactful and will only last roughly 2 to 3 hours to complete. The visuals and sound design are again top-notch, and for me the main reason to experience the game. The world is immersive, and the short bit of narrative given at the beginning is just enough to keep you intrigued and curious about what's going on. Now the puzzles can be a bit challenging at times, but overall this is a very peaceful experience, similar to Greece if you played that one, and if you're interested in Aspire Ina's Tale, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on February 18th. Right now it's marked down 33% to a new all-time low of just $8.70. Encodya is a single-player narrative-driven adventure game from Assemble Entertainment with a download size around 4.25 gigabytes and a main story that will last roughly 10 to 11 hours to finish up. At the core of this dark cyberpunk story is a tale about a young girl and her companion, a guard robot named Sam. There are over 100 different locations to visit in this beautiful 2.5D setting, tons of NPCs to interact with, making the city really feel alive, and the puzzles, while challenging, never got too overly complicated to the point of frustration. The soundtrack does again add a nice level of immersion, and once again the story is well worth checking out. If you're interested in Encodya, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on February 16th. It's marked down 70% to a new all-time low of just $8.99. Quest Hunter is a party-style action RPG from 2 Zombie Games with a download size around 2.3 gigabytes, and it offers dozens of hours of gameplay due to the multiplayer nature of the game. It offers both local and online co-op for up to 4 players at a time, and they even have some PvP options as well. The story is engaging, and the dungeons are randomly generated to add a bit of replayability to the title, and of course you can find new items and earn XP to upgrade your party members to become a force to be reckoned with. Again, the boss battles were a particular highlight for us. They were really creative and incorporated into the world beautifully. If you're interested in Quest Hunter, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on February 14th. It's marked down 70%, matching a previous low of just $8.99. Alright folks, and as always, here are a couple other games to check out while you're already on the eShop. Happy hunting. Alright folks, that's going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. Thanks as always for hanging out with us again today. You know we truly appreciate it. I definitely hope you had a good time or maybe found a deal or two that you were interested in. Also, if you get a chance, consider stopping by Little Man's channel. We have more gameplays and daily deals and sales list over there as well. Thanks again, you all are legendary. Have a wonderful week everyone. Much love, and we'll let Little Man take us home as always. Bye everyone.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!